Hello there. I just wanted to go over a few things about this week's article evaluation. This is pretty similar to what you would have done in English 101 or 102, but I thought some of you could use a refresher. So for this week, you are writing an evaluation of a scholarly article. So you're going to choose one from the GMC library, which is our online library, and I'm going to show you some of the steps in a minute. And then you're going to evaluate that, and then you're also going to make sure that you have included what the thesis is about the author, a brief summary about the author, which means you're going to need to read the article. And then you need to have some kind of evaluative piece in there about the main points. Is the argument relative? Is it convincing? And why? If it's not convincing, then, provide some details of why you think it's not convincing. As any paper that we do in this course, it's going to be MLA formatted. All quotations and paraphrases have to be in MLA style. The entire evaluation needs to be an MLA format, but with the heading and page numbers and double spacing and all of that good stuff as well. But you want to make sure that you have both a quote and a paraphrase from the article using the in-text citations. And of course, anytime that you are referring to an outside source, you're going to be including a works cited page. So those are kind of the mechanics of writing this activity. But I want to kind of give you a context of why we're doing this. We are getting geared up for the research paper that's going to be due in week 7, similar to what you would have done in English 102. So when we're starting with looking at a scholarly article, because a lot of times that's going to start giving you some ideas of what you're going to write. In week 5, you're going to submit a tentative thesis statement. So by going through and searching, sometimes just the act of searching for an article, plus reading articles, and you may end up finding an article and saying, I don't even want to get any further with this. This is not at all what I'm looking for. So you would go to the next one. So that helps you in deciding the topic that you're going to be writing about for that research essay. It's going to be a claim. I always hesitate to use the word argument because it's not meant to be argumentative, but it's meant to take a very certain stance about the literary pieces that we're reading in this course. So that's important to think about. And it can't just be, this is the best story ever, or, I really enjoyed the story. There has to be, a specific claim. And that's going to help you be able to really analyze some of the literature in here. So I have this on my screen. So you're going to go to the GMC library. Which is, I want to point out that there's a lot of resources in here. There's a lot of videos and a lot of help things. So don't be intimidated to look around. There's FAQ segments that you can look, and there's instructional videos and how to use it. So click around in here and really become familiar with this. While your major may not be literature, but once you get into your major courses, then you can be able to find the different databases and how to use this library. So it's very helpful. And also, you have access to the librarian here. He is wonderful to work with. Has all kinds of knowledge about searching for topics, and has knowledge about our courses. So it's very helpful, and don't ever hesitate to reach out to him. It's not going to be available Sunday night at 10 o'clock, so you want to do it earlier in the week, but a very good resource. So this is where I instruct students to start, is the library guides. And this will be helpful not only for this course, but for any of your other courses as well. So if you scroll down here, you can see the different topics. If you are taking a criminal justice class, if you are in health and wellness, there's math and science and military. Of course, for this course, we are in English and literature. So there are specific library guides for specific courses, so these two might be familiar to you. And then it also takes you right to the Literary Reference Center and the Literary Resource Center. I suggest starting here because it kind of, I like how it lumps kind of everything together. Okay, so here are the different databases. So these are specific to literature. So if you wanted to find something about, nuclear power, this would not be the spot you would look at because these are specific to literature. Now there are some general ones down here that's included in this library guide, but this highlights the literary databases. So, and there's different tabs up here that you can click on. But for this course, this is where I would tend to start. I would start with this Literary Reference Center. I don't know why, I just seem to find articles quickly and better articles that I like. So if I were to go to this database, and okay, so there's just a type, a search bar. So if you put in something that's very general, let's say if I was searching for Hemingway, it's going to bring up lots and lots of articles. Okay, so that's going to be overwhelming. So if I can put some terms in it, and this might still be a good way to start. Sometimes, you kind of scroll down and, what types of things are in here, just to kind of give you an idea, a broader overview. But I know I really want to, I've actually already done this search, so it's right here, but I want to write about his short story, The Hills Like White Elephants. So it's going to bring up, what I meant to say, you can also do, like, you can say in here, I only want peer-reviewed article, which for the course that is what you would want to do, because those are more reliable and those are credible sources. Okay, so we're looking, so these are only, so there's only 5 sources here. So you can scroll down here, just even looking at the titles, what does that tell me about what I want to look at? I also look at where is it published, and also the dates. So, here's one from 1999. I mean, the story was written in the early 1900s, so, the date isn't, there isn't like it's going to be like new information. It's going to be different, new takes on it. But there's no like real new information about it. But let me show you the difference between, so I have selected peer reviewed here. If I unselect that, it gives me more results, and it's also going to give me some results that I may not like. So that's really a great feature. There was something I wanted to, like, some of these are just like a summary and analysis. That is not going to be any kind of literary criticism. Any of these master plot things are just giving you the summary. It's not, you can look at that. That might be helpful for you as you're trying to understand stories, but it's not a critical article for you to choose. So that's some of the differences. So if we go back to peer reviewed, I've already selected an article that I wanted to show you. So I'm going to select this one about the tradition of the American in Europe. So if you've read the story, remember that it's about Jig and the man in Europe. So this is a completely different take. I know a lot of people want to focus on the surgery that she is supposed to have in the overall conversation. But if I wanted to write an essay about, digging in deep, what does that look like for an American during that time period? In Europe, what was really happening. So kind of like the historical literary theory of, what was happening during that time. I also know that, Hemingway was an American in Europe, and that, writing about that. So anyway, so I would go down here and, read through the read through the article. It's not very long. So it gives me some ideas and looking, and if you can tell that this person is also quoting from the story, is also quoting from other articles, and this may lead you down even another path. So I know students sometimes are like, why do I always have to include a works cited, and it's extra stuff. When you're becoming a part of that conversation, this is one of the reasons that you would have it. As a student, it is just providing that credibility that you've done the work and you've looked at credible sources. But also, if you were part of this conversation, at the academic level, I would be looking to see, well, is this credible? Who did they use as a resource? If it was sources that, I knew that were other so-called experts in Hemingway, that would give it some credibility. Or if there were some things that were left out, or if it was very superficial, or if you used one of those master plots ones, and I'd be wondering, I'm like, this doesn't seem very academic. And again, in connecting this with what you're going to be doing in your major, you're still going to do research in the same way. And you're going to start to know, once you really get involved in your major and you've taken a couple courses, you're going to learn who are the major experts and theorists. And say if you're majoring in biology, there are people who are known as being experts in biology, and they have written articles. So that all becomes part of that. So just want to kind of give you that connected way of that we look at literature. We're very focused on, how we look at research. For this course, we're very focused on literature, but the same research skills are going to apply to your other courses. Okay? And sometimes these articles, and I don't think this one does, will give you the citation, and it does not, but it, does it give it here? Sometimes it gives you the citation, which is nice. No, it does not, but you can be able, it gives you all of the information to create your citation. Okay, so I hope this is helpful, and don't forget that you have this source in the course, how to navigate the library. And it's a PowerPoint, and it goes through many of the same steps. It also has the direct contact to the librarian, has videos to be able to watch. So lots of things that are right at the tip of your fingers. So good luck this week, and I look forward to reading your evaluations of the articles. Oh, one last thing. Remember, this has to come from the GMC library. No Google searches or Google Scholar or anything like that. For all of the assignments in this course, it has to come from the GMC library. And please, please, please do not use AI to write your article. You guys are smart enough to do it on your own without AI, unless you're using something like Grammarly to help correct any grammar. But please don't use that. I hate when students earn a failing grade for an assignment when I know they were capable of it. So, all right, have a good week.